Okay, I'll call to order the reorganizational meeting of the Moose Lake City Council. Is there approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. New business, annual appointments. We're gonna leave them all the same that we had last. We're gonna do the city attorney. We can do all these at once, can't we? City attorney, Flattery and Hood. City engineer, Matt Wolf, short Elliot Hendrickson. City financial advisor, Northland Security. Bond counsel, Kennedy Engraven Chartered. City auditor, Westberg Ishins. City funds depository, First National Bank. And the official city newspaper, the Star Gazette. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Planning Commission. Do I have to read all these?
Yep.
I suppose.
Wonderful.
Mayor Jim Chalsky, Lou Oley, Doug Skelton, Joanne Unzen, Jan Ashmore. Economic Development Authority, Doug Jutton and Jim Chalsky. Yvonne Skelton, Terry Byrne, Steve Olson. Zoning Administrator, Alyssa Owens. Housing Redevelopment Authority, Lou Oley, Catherine Mexeth, Kurt York, Barb Isaacson, Joanne Morrissey. Parks and Recreation, Lou Oley, Walt Lauer, Samantha Visden, Ross Stewart, Barney Hollis, Graydon O'Lean, Lowell Urban, Keith Carlson. Library Board, Walt Lauer, Chris Huso, Karen Johnson, Ann Sawyer. There's a vacancy, and Dave Manisco. Cemetery Board, Lou Oley, Chris Huso, Mike Peterson, June Mackey, Graydon O'Lean, and Natalie Forup. Public Utilities Commission, Doug Jutton and Kurt Skelton, or Doug Skelton, Kurt York. And the Fire District, Walt Lauer and John Lund. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. City officials, Mayor Pro Tem Doug Jutton, Weed and Tree Inspector Jim Michalski, Safety Officer Phil Etner, Waste Management Director Phil Etner, Building Official Andrew Sharp at Township and Range, Animal Control, Carrollton County Sheriff's Office, Board of Health, Gateway Family Physicians, Emergency Preparedness, Jim Michalski, Cable Television, Roy Buckwitz and Ryan McKeon, Municipal Liquor Store, Doug Jutton, Lou Oley, Law Enforcement Liaison, Chris Huso, Administrative Committee, Chris Huso and Doug Jutton, Cable Television Committee, Jim Michalski, Chamber of Commerce, Jim Michalski and Walt Lauer, Department of Corrections Advisory Committee, Jim Michalski, Doug Jutton, Active Living Coalition, Jim Michalski, Doug Jutton. Safety Committee, Jim Michalski, Phil Etner, Alyssa Owens, Kelly Lake, and Ryan McKeon. Tree Committee, Jim Michalski, Lou Oley, Phil Etner, Alyssa Owens, and Renee Bennett. City Administration, City Administrator Alyssa Owens, Deputy Clerk Taylor Hansberry, Financial Director Ryan McKeon, Electronic Fund Transaction Designee Ryan McKeon, City Superintendent Phil Etner, Privacy Act Officer Ryan McKeon, Municipal Liquor Store Supervisor Mari Voss, Library Director Laura Helwig, and Motor Vehicle Deputy Register Karen Deline. Is there a motion for all those?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Now we gotta do the fee schedule.
One
Gotta
minute.
do that also.
I don't believe so.
It is. Did everybody have a chance to go over the fee schedule?
There are a couple of new additions from the last time council has seen the fee schedule. Those are highlighted in yellow in the council packet and are related to, as the Office of Cannabis Management continues to evolve and new processes are established, they've added a few categories of applications and licensing categories. And one of them is the lower potency hemp edibles and or beverages. And so we made sure now that all of the different categorizations available for license applications are now covered on our fee schedule, even though we haven't had requests for all the different types.
Any other questions or motions to approve the fee schedule?
Are these fees, the cannabis ones, in line with with Carlton County, or where did we get these figures from?
So state statute dictates what the maximums can be. And so there's been a lot of consistency across the board based on the state statutes, and so we are aligned with that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Carried. And we have a motion to adjourn the reorganizational meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. I'll call the regular city council meeting for January 14th, 2026 to order. We'll start with pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Consent agenda, we have the regular city council meeting minutes from December 10th. Financial reports, city accounts payable, December 2025. Financial statement, December 2025. And liquor store profit and loss statement, December 2025. Are there any questions on any of them? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Public comment. This time is reserved for comments from the public on matters not listed on the agenda. Please keep comments to 2 minutes. Seeing none, we'll move on to department reports. Carlton County Sheriff.
Just apologize, Kelly wasn't able to make it. Apparently you guys got the packet though. If there's any questions on it, I might be able to explain it to you guys. Looks like there was 54 initial or extra patrols and details, 35 traffic stops, 29 business checks, 2 community engagements, 6 on-view public assists, 11 paper services. Looks like 4 medical calls and then 58 other calls for response, so a total of about 199 calls. Any questions on those at all?
Oh, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like I said, Kelly apologized, she wasn't able to make it, so it's kind of last minute.
Thank you.
Thank you. City Superintendent Phil Etner.
Mayor, members of the council, Administrator Owens, excuse me, water department, we'll start there like they always do. 3.8 million gallons of water, drinking water in the month of December was transmitted to the distribution system. Still on that par for November, if you remember that number, 3.4, we almost cut that number in half with these water breaks just up the hill here, end of October. So we're still moving in a good direction there. We do currently have a water break right now that we are going to be addressing here in the next week and a half. It's in a really tricky spot where we're gonna have to shut down some bigger businesses and some some other entities. So we're trying to work around that. It's not an emergency, but it's definitely something we need to get fixed. So yeah, we've been working on that. Sewer department collection system collected 9.3 million gallons of wastewater in the month of December. Treatment facility, it's pretty much wrapped up, put to bed for the winter. I'm still looking for some other training opportunities to try to get out to go take a look at some of the additional ways to cut down our capacity. It's kind of where the bug program came from, where the lining program came from, the whole works. So I'll be looking at a couple more things this winter and spring to go take a look and see what we can learn there. Street department right away, snow and ice removal has been underway. There hasn't been a whole lot for complaints, a couple of things we can do a little bit better on, which we're going to be working on. We are a little short staffed at the moment, but we have good hopes to get back up on par with that. Obviously road patching, bituminous concrete repairs, all that kind of thing shut down for the year. Equipment so far, as of right now, everything seems to be working fine. Nothing major for breakdowns, minor things, but nothing major. Cemeteries are shut down for the winter, although burials are still happening. We had one on Monday out there, so things are still moving. Campground is indeed shut down for the winter. We do have those trees yet to take down this spring down there, which we'll be getting after once we get a little frost in the ground, because there's hardly any right now. Okay, the arena, that's going, right? It's going good.
Good.
I mean, it's a little short staffed, but we're doing what we gotta do. Storm sewer, nothing to report for right now. Gardening department, nothing there as well. Recycling center's running as usual. One thing, we will be burning the city brush pile here as soon as we get enough snow coverage, we get enough time. We'll also be burning a couple piles at the gravel pit site, which will be all reported to dispatch in Carleton County and the fire department. So, other than that, that's all I have for right now. We have some more things coming up later. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Municipal liquor store.
Members of the council, Mayor Michalski, Administrator Owens. Liquor store, we installed the new dishwasher, seems to be working fantastically. Let's see, we filled out and turned in our low potency cannabis retailer application for the city. You'll see that later on in the document here. I handed out some calendars to give you kind of a sneak peek of what we're looking at for the next few months there. And then we did our inventory on New Year's Day, which went well, and those are scanned in and sent out to the auditors. So yeah, things are going well. Any questions?
Any question?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Motor vehicle department.
Good afternoon, everybody. Not too much to report. I don't know if you guys have been walking through. Let's see. We've been really busy. The DVS sent out renewals very early this year, the beginning of December. So that means all their miscellaneous registrations, such as trucks, trailers, motorcycles, all those are coming in. We're also getting on construction companies with stacks of renewals or their lists of things they need to get done. I had a tax season, so we've had a lot of that. That's been keeping us really busy, but then there's a lot of other things that are coming up too. As of March 1st, the TSA is going to be charging customers $45 extra if they don't have a real ID when they go try to get on an airplane. So they'll be stopped before they can even do a check-in, and they'll have to do a TSA confirmation and be brought to a different area to confirm their identity. So they'll be taking longer. So a lot of people, we've gotten a rush of, with that also. We expect it to get busier with those by the end of the month also. And let's see, our DVS regional supervisor was here the other day doing our sticker and plate audit. This is if we have a damaged sticker or a plate that gets returned for some reason from a customer. We have to account for everything, so we have to put those aside, and then he comes over and does an audit to try to make sure everything is accounted for. And everything was good. If something is not accounted for, we have to pay for that sticker or that plate if it's missing. So And so we did good, got us gold star. Let's see. We've had a lot of changes, and I'm not sure if I've said this before, but the CDL drivers have to bring in proof of residency and proof of citizenship with every renewal or every duplicate of a driver's license. And that's been kind of a hardship, you know, for them and us being busy with that because we have to send people away. DVS said they were gonna send out letters to all the CDL drivers and haven't, so they end up coming back a second or third time, so that's kind of discouraging for them and us, so, yeah. And then another thing is for their medical certificates too. The doctors have taken, we used to do them for free for years. And now the doctor's offices, and that's what it was originally supposed to set up to do, but it got postponed for a long time, and so they're doing it now, but customers are still coming in with their medical certificates, thinking we still have to do them, and we don't, but we always check their records to be sure it's gotten updated. We've had one so far that didn't get updated, and he was gonna lose his license, so we don't mind looking that up for customers, so, because sometimes that's their living, so they can't lose their license, yeah. We also received our first no-fee transaction payment from the DVS last month, no, was it 2 months ago? And it was $1,200, all the stuff that we do for no fee. This was only for a 2-month period, but our next one, which should be coming in the next couple days, will be for 3 months. So it's nice to get that compensation for the fees, no fee stuff that we do. It's not for everything, but at least it's something, so that's good to see. And we also hired a new employee in the middle of December. We hired Jody Hasinas, and she's from Little River. She's a lot of experience working in the public, with the public, and she's eager to learn all the jobs we put in front of her. Let's see, we just try not to overwhelm her so much. It's a lot of information, so we try to just do it step by step. Her background check finally came back in on last Friday. She's done her fraud training, and now that her background check came back, she can do standard driver's license and real IDs. So we're working with that, so you know, to make sure she's getting all the right documents and whatever. She's also completed the administrating proctor exam, so we will just be waiting for approval for her to be able to administer a proctor exam and set that up for somebody. So it's a lot of step by step, one thing to the other, but we'll get there. Yeah, and that's about it. Does anybody have any questions?
Nope. Thank you.
Looks fantastic.
Very
Okay.
busy.
Okay, thanks.
Technology, library department?
Test 1, 2. Do you want me to talk about the library a little bit? I was at their last meeting.
Yes, please.
I don't know, I won't be able to speak as to the last year, but I know what she's planning ahead for the upcoming year. So the next summer reading program is called Plan to See to Read. She's really excited about that. The book fair is June 16th through the 20th. I believe that's reserved already. And then she's looking at different things to draw in more people to the library. Like they have the Zoomobile that comes in, and just looking at all sorts of stuff, magicians, stuff like that. So, and she's also moving a lot of bookcases and stuff around. She has a couple that will get donated to other libraries already, so that's really wonderful that they won't go to waste, and just making things a little more feng shui in there and can move seamlessly throughout the library. Any questions about any of that?
Nope.
Good.
Thank you.
IT department, let's see, some things going on down at First National Bank Arena. Today we have a DSC down there taking a look and cleaning and recalibrating some city cameras that are down there. Friday we have TCI coming in, taking a look at the speaker system. There's been some troubles with it cutting out and such, so we'll keep you updated on that. Working with Rory, we've been having some power issues with this cable cast system. I think we'll get through that. And then Phil and Taylor have some workstation replacements coming in tomorrow, and probably want to set up an additional meeting with council as far as city cameras as a whole. Just some things over the past year that I'd like to just bring everyone up to speed on, and then we can make some decisions as far as city cameras go.
Any questions?
Yes.
Have we had
Walt?
any interest on, from people putting up ads on the screen down there?
We've had a couple, not a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. We do have an ad on there, so if you want space on there, call the city office. That's 218-485-4010.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay.
Financial department.
Finance department, Minnesota paid leave. I did give another handout to you guys just because, so you guys can see kind of what it covers, what it doesn't, just some general information about Minnesota paid leave. It is in full effect now. I did some quick analysis of some numbers because you really don't know until you do it. So just to go backwards, the city has contributed 0.44% of the gross of the team members, and then we passed the other 0.44% on to the team member. So just for reference, the city council, you guys paid in together $13.42 into the paid leave program. So the team members, it was about $200. So if you do the math throughout the year, we'll be close to about $10,000 between the council and the team members. And that's both their portion and our portion. So just for reference, I guess if you're curious. Let's see, 2025 audit discussion. Taylor and I have started uploading some things for this year's audit, well, last year's audit. And they will be here May 26th through the 28th, and we're looking forward to that. And there's one other thing, actually, it's not on here. Just a quick liquor store update. I know we've discussed before maybe transferring some monies around from the unrestricted fund in the liquor store. So just a quick unaudited, this is 2025 revenue for the liquor store. We're at just under 2 million, 1.9 million. And in 2024, we were just over 2 million, so about $145,000 short. But we did have that error with the deposit slip, so you add in that $31,000 back in, and we're about $145,000 short of last year. And you might be saying, geez, Ryan, I thought we were gonna do better than last year. We know last year was really good. But hold on, we spent less this year than we did last year, about $134,000 less than we did last year. So we did make up the ground in that area. So in 2024, we made about $175,455. This year, unaudited, of course, so there's still some things that need to be worked out, but we'll be just under 200,000, 195,262. So, which is really good when you consider last year was pretty good. How does that play a part in the discussion of what we have to transfer in and out? So the city auditors say that you should have 6 to 9 months of reserve in your unrestricted balance. So if you look at our audited version of 2024, we have $535,081 in the unrestricted liquor store fund. If you take in what I'm calculating, about 200,000, so we'll have about $735,000 somewhere in that ballpark area, right? And then if you take a look, I just looked quickly at July through December operating expenses, it's about $950,000. So that's a lot of numbers. If you have any questions, let me know. So essentially what I'm saying is we're still a little shy of what the auditors are recommending or having in reserve before you start transferring monies around. Now, that's not to say that's a must and you have to do that, because you guys are welcome to do anything with that unrestricted fund balance you want. It's just their recommendation. Yes,
Is the 900,000 at the high end, is that the 9-month or is that the 6-month?
that's the 6-month. Great question.
Thank you,
July through December.
thank you.
So I try to capture some summer months and some colder months, just to be fair when looking at that.
Any other questions? Comments? Anything else?
Well, I think that's it for me.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City engineer.
Yes, so there's actually a handful of items on the regular city council agenda this particular month that coincide with the monthly engineering meeting minutes that were dispersed in the packet. A couple of items that are not to be covered later on in the meeting. The city staff that is relevant to our new GIS mapping system received training. So now we have a functioning GIS program in-house from a city perspective. We're still working on a zoning layer, and so both Taylor and I have been involved as far as getting the engineers additional information for our zoning layer, which will be extremely helpful. Progress is being made there. It's going to be an excellent tool for all of us to utilize. At some point here, as we get better, we'll do a little demo up on the screen for council to be able to take a look at it. And then I'm sure moving forward, we'll have pieces and components and snapshots from our GIS system in the packet when it pertains to different items. So that's really exciting, and progress has been made there. The plan is to do annual updates and or as projects occur, information will continuously be added into that system. We also have one seat for water and light, so we're making sure that we are collaborating with our partners up the street as well. And so we'll continue to work through that, but we are up and running, and that's a positive. In addition, I wanted to just inform council that city staff is engaging with the city engineers on a DNR outdoor recreation grant. The city will be putting in an application for a new city playground at the city park. And so Taylor and the city engineers will be working really closely with that, along with other administrative staff, but she's definitely taken the lead on that. And so we will inform council what our application looks like moving forward here. It is due in March, so we have a couple months to get things together. We've got some upcoming meetings scheduled with the engineers and more to come on that particular topic.
Do we know the amount of the grant?
So the max award is $500,000. However, there's a 50% match, and the applications are due March 31st. We also have some monies set aside in the budget for what our match component would be. We've also gotten some resources from other local cities and communities around us who have applied for the grant successfully through the engineers. So we're taking a look at what works, what didn't work. It looks like there also might be a component to utilize the city land as part of your match as well, and the valuation of city land too that goes to the project. So we're working through some things like that. The max award it looks like is $500,000, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Previously discussed business. City ordinance update.
We need a chamber.
What chamber, sorry?
Yes, city staff was unable to attend the chamber meeting today. However, there are lots of moving pieces happening. There is going to be an annual dinner taking place on Saturday, January 17th at 5 p.m. at the depot. All of their events are on their website, and they're looking for volunteers as they plan and transition here into 2026. And so any questions, please feel free to reach out to Michelle Anderson at the Chamber or look at the Chamber of Commerce website.
Now moving on to previously discussed business. City ordinance update.
Caroline and I met with the sheriff's office and the county attorney's office. They gave us some good feedback on the modifications that we made to our ordinances. The attorney's office did indicate that enforcing sound violations is always going to be tough, no matter how your ordinance is written. So they wanted to kind of set our expectations as far as that goes, that, you know, it's great to have our ordinances done. However, not to think that they're gonna solve all of our issues, because they can't. They also let us know that they work with submissions of ordinances to the state court system all the time, so offered to help us with that process, and they said that the turnaround time for that is actually not that long, usually pretty short, 2 to 3 weeks. So once they get that spreadsheet filled out, they're going to submit that for us, and then we will be able to cite our ordinances, not just administratively, but through the sheriff's office as well, or through the county attorney's office. Our next 3 ordinances have been requested for review by our city attorneys. They are ATVs, traffic, and our zoning ordinance. I have sent the zoning ordinance over to them already for their initial thoughts and review. I want to take a look at the traffic and the ATV one prior to submitting to them. As we know, the entire process with the last 3 ordinances cost the city around $20,000. So the majority that we can get done in the office prior to engaging the city attorneys, that's our goal. So I will continue to work on those ATV and traffic ordinances, and hopefully we'll have some feedback on our zoning ordinance here shortly, so that we can make sure everything in our zoning ordinance is worded appropriately. So that's all we ask for.
Any questions?
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
8th Street road vacancy.
Yes, so City Council received some information in the packet from Straight Line Surveying regarding the 8th Street road vacation that was discussed with Council a few months back. It is now back up on the docket with the city attorneys, as we have them juggling a couple of different items here in the past couple of months. One thing that they did ask for Council to review again is the potential to incorporate utility easements within the vacation. So essentially, does the city want to maintain utility easements that would allow for utilities to be able to go through those particular areas moving forward if the road is then vacated by the city? So in the packet, Council received a couple of screenshots of land pertinent and directly adjacent to the road vacation. And so with that, I guess, looking to initiate a discussion with Council regarding whether or not a utility easement is desired. And I guess the question brought forward from the city attorneys, which that email was also incorporated in the packet, would be for future development. If that's something that the city council would like to maintain the opportunity to do so.
Questions?
So for future development, they're talking about this area here that's the big, like, kind of triangle on the map?
Yes, so there's actually two parcels, or 2 sections, 2 areas that are outlined in red that are accessible by what is now 8th Street. And so if you're looking at in red, essentially these go next to one another. You can see this is right here.
Mhm.
These go next to each other. They're not on the same page, but yes.
That's my understanding, that this area hasn't been developed in the past because of the schist, the rock in the ground there.
That's
It's
my
just-
understanding as well. Yep.
So it may be developable, but it would take an awful lot of work to do that to it,
And money.
and money.
Right.
Phil, do you have any?
No, I don't have any recommendation. If you look at those two pieces that are highlighted, they're just larger chunks of property that are in the city city limits. I mean, if they were gonna be developed, let's be honest with you, they'd be developed already. You know, even what there is for lots in this town to develop on. As far as the utility easement thing goes, it'd be an easier way to loop utilities if we were ever to decide we would want to loop utilities, and whether that would be water, sewer, gas, power, fiber, whatever, right? But I also think we could, what if this thing to death and nothing ever happens either? Even if we were to vacate this, getting utilities from, I'm gonna call it North Road, County Road 15, over to that area of 7327. So actually not 73, sorry, 2761, it wouldn't be impossible. It would just be a little more financially. But is it worth the what if? I don't know.
What is the cost if we decided we wanted to keep the utilities in there? Is there a cost related to all this, or?
No, it's just how they would draft the easement.
Correct.
So when they vacate the road, and council will entertain a resolution, essentially the legals and the write-up for the vacation would incorporate the city's right to have utility easements moving forward.
Right.
And the city still maintains ownership of this?
Of the easement, utility easement. The road would then be vacated and the property owners would assume the road. Property affiliated with the road.
Chris?
How did this building ever get put in the middle of the road?
I was asked that same question today, and that is not one that I can answer.
Has Water and Light been asked the same question about utilities?
Our first stop was city council based on water and sewer. And so this can absolutely be brought forward to them. All of this has to, well, it all has to be vetted essentially before it goes back to the attorneys.
We had that conversation, but wanted to come here first, obviously.
Sure. I have no problem with it, but I think that we need to have the utilities there.
Yeah.
The right to the utilities, and forward it to the Water and Light, have them vote on it, and then send it back to us, and then we can vote on it once they do.
I'd hate to see us get rid of it and then all of a sudden decide somewhere in the future that, well, we shouldn't have done that, we should have kept this. It's hard to know what's gonna happen in the future.
Yeah. Easier.
I think it was important from a city attorney perspective to have dialogue in a public forum about it with council, and then record some type of a motion to proceed with whatever the council decides, as far as maintaining utility easements or not from a city perspective.
Wishes? Send it to Power and Light saying that we would like to see.
Yeah, I would make that
you know,
recommendation. Yeah, that we would like their recommendation as well, and then once they make their decision, if they're okay with it, we'll bring it back to us, we'll make a motion on that and send it to the county attorney's office. That'd be my recommendation.
Is that good enough? Consensus on that?
Yes.
Public safety budget savings discussion.
Yes, wanted to keep this, this topic in front of city council. So as we discussed last month, there was an expenditure savings of right around $150,000 unaudited for the calendar year of 2025. At last month's meeting, we discussed, having an opportunity for council to give some direction to city staff on areas to look into as far as utilization of those savings. And so just wanted to bring the dialogue forward to see if council has any direction for staff. From a staff perspective, we have not engaged any further in bringing ideas forward, as we wanted council to have that say and weigh in prior to any administrative movement on it. So looking to see if there are any ideas or recommendations from council for city staff to engage on.
Any thoughts?
Well, I guess I'd like to see some of the money go towards road projects. I know that Chris, you brought up the playground last time. I'm not against that, but we don't know yet whether or not we'll be getting that grant or not, so that's kind of up in the air still, what kind of funding we're gonna have for that.
There's also a need that was brought up last month, and I believe maybe the month before, of what's going to happen with the water tower. We're looking at $90,000 a year, and that clock has already started. So just keep in mind that we are going to have to be looking at, are we going to fund a matching component, or what are we going to be doing? And we need to start doing that now. So keep that in mind.
Chris?
Well, and we also gotta look at this as two of the officers didn't have full.
Yeah, so we're not gonna have
So
that every year.
we're not gonna have it every year, so is it, you know, I wouldn't wanna see this money be all spent and then next year so I think we gotta keep that really in the back of our mind, because, you know, we got two officers that weren't here the 100% of the year, so I think that's gotta be the first and foremost taken into consideration, because I don't want next year to come up that we're, you know, short or scrambling, and, you know, it's.
We did budget though, however, for 2026, the full law enforcement budget. So this is just excess funds, is that correct?
Correct, one-time excess funds, correct.
Yeah, I still would like to
Keep
see
them up.
some of it reserved for that. Doesn't have to be a huge amount, but I think some of it needs to be earmarked for law enforcement.
So what's the total that we have to work with? Is the one?
It's unaudited, but the $149,000 figure.
What are you thinking, Chris, about a total that you want to keep in that?
I guess I haven't put a whole lot of thought in it at the moment, I just, even just 50,000 or 40,000, just something that is gonna be there if we need. You know, we are paying separate for other events, you know, when we need them, and that, I don't know where that's worked in here. So I just think we need to have something, since this is what we're saving it on, we should save some for future needs of that, and, you know, if next year we're good, then we kind of know where we're rolling, but
Right.
40 to 50 is what I'd like to see, or the 49,000, you know, and then 100,000 for whatever earmarked for roads or the water tower, or however we want to.
Are we okay with where we're at with the gravel pit, with the funds that we have?
So right now we are.
Yeah, we talked about that, and then we incorporated a little bit of savings in the 2026 budget as, you know, hopefully a line item that stays within the budget moving forward in order to continue to build the fund to be able to crush again when needed. So we have confirmed we have what we needed to engage in the initial mining or crushing. And then have put a little bit aside in the 2026 budget, and hopefully thereafter, with council approval, to be able to continue to build that fund.
Well, and could the 49 thousand or whatever be kind of, I mean, potentially, you know, or hopefully be earmarked for law enforcement, but could it be kind of in a fund that if there was a thing that we needed to emergency take from or whatever, use that, or?
So, the law enforcement, public safety budget is within the general fund. So, you know, there's a lot of departments covered under that fund where you could have a restricted fund by council motion within the general fund for emergencies. You know, that could always be an option. It's whatever council wants to do. And this guidance is really helpful. I mean, we can put something together with exact figures and kind of map it out and bring it back. Today was, you know, discussion for engagement and ideas from council, and we can present something back to council in February.
That sounds good. I think we have a starting point, you know.
If any other ideas come forward, please feel free to let me know, and we will incorporate those in what we present in February.
Any other questions, comments? Moving on to new business, Moose Lake Area Hockey Association, spring memorandum of understanding.
Yes, so the memorandum of understanding in council's packet did go before park board at January's meeting, and the recommendation from park board was to city council was to approve the MOU. Essentially, this will be the second time we're engaging in the extended contract timeframe to accommodate the Hockey Association's ability to generate a little bit of revenue with ice time to then help pay for the compressors and their financing of the compressors.
Questions, comments?
How did that work last time? Please. For you.
First of all, thanks from the Hockey Association for extending it for us both times. Just to kind of give you guys an overview of what happened with the early and the late, late being the spring, early being the fall. So the late season, we ended up having power skating. We ended up having 6 sessions and we had 45 kids show up. So that was a really good turnout for that. We ended up having the skills for the Bantams because they couldn't do stuff in the fall with football and stuff like that, so we ended up having 20 kids involved with that. That was 6 sessions also. We also had, I think, I want to say 25 open skates, and we had 3 sessions each day, and we ended up having 15 kids for every single one of those sessions, 15 to 20 kids, and we also included the high schoolers with that. And I will tell you, it made a huge difference in this season especially coming into the season this year. We had probably a half a dozen kids that were brand new to hockey, and because they talked to us last fall before the season started, we got them in there, got them skating. A lot of them did way better than what we expected for the start of the season. So we appreciate that. It did make a significant difference with that. And just to kind of give you an overview of what we're looking at with our skill level, Bantams usually play B2s. We tried B1s this year. We're within 1 or 2 points of each one of those kids. A lot of those kids showed up this year. For the early and lates, the Pee-wees are doing phenomenal. They're also in B2, but we had a couple of new kids. Those are the new kids that we had. They're doing B2s and they're winning a lot of their games. So especially in those 2 specific ones, but a lot of the kids that are fresh out of there are doing it very well with it. We do see a lot of kids that do need something to do after school, especially for that period of time between sports. So it's good to see some of those kids showing up. So if the ice is available, I guarantee a lot of kids will take advantage of it. Our plans for this fall season is we're gonna try to do more games. The couple things that what I did see taper off is I don't feel like it's worth it to go to April 30th. That's why I narrowed it down to April 15th. We just started to see a drastic cutoff starting April 15th, which is, I'm glad we extended that period of time for the first time, but I think we should tone it back to April 15th, and I don't ever see us have to go past that for any reason. As for ice was really good. The fall was a little bit more difficult to maintain, however, it was very doable, and again, the kids really did come into that and took a lot of time out of their day to come out and skate, and the parents did too. So for this spring season though, our plans are to have more games, still have open hockey, and try to promote hockey and try to get any kids that are interested for next year into it early so that they can at least get started skating too. So, and maybe, and try to have some camps again this year. Yes?
Is it April 15th or April 13th?
13th, I believe, sorry. Yeah, 13th.
Any other questions, comments? Motions?
I'll make a motion that we sign the memo of understanding with the Moose Lake Hockey Association for the extension from March 1st to April 13th of this year.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City of Moose Lake employee parking discussion.
Yes, the city council received communication in the packet that from one of the local businesses that has a parking lot adjacent to City Hall. And so when the parking or ordinance and or stipulations, regulations came into effect, we did have city staff parking in that parking lot back there in order to clear spaces off in the street. That is no longer an opportunity for the city and for city employees. And so we've been looking at other options. What was included in the packet essentially is a space of city-owned land across the street from the members' parking lot, across Douglas, and there is an opportunity there potentially for some type of city parking lot, and looking to engage with council on that, what their thoughts are. It's not something we could do right now. Right now, city staff is parking out on 4th Street and in the library parking lot in order to try and accommodate parking for citizens and those that are frequenting the business establishments in those areas as well. So looking to start the dialogue with council.
How many parking spots are we talking about?
11, 10.
So it changes from day to day, but we calculated the maximum amount to be, well, we actually went closer to 12 to 15, depending upon staffing and what's going on that is needed from a city perspective.
I believe Chris has a question.
Yep, go ahead, Chris.
This parking lot, if we created one across from the other parking lot, how many spaces would that, could you put in there?
Ask our engineers.
Well, can you guess?
You'll get your 15 in there, for sure. One way or the other, we'll get it in there.
Do you think there'd be more?
No. Because we can't utilize that entire lot.
Any other questions?
What's the situation with the power and light parking lot? It's kitty corner. Sometimes we've allowed people to park vehicles there on snow days and stuff like that. I don't have any idea how much room is available up there.
So we did engage with Water and Light. There is a desire to make sure that they maintain adequate parking for their staff, their linemen, everybody employed up there. And so there isn't 15 additional spots within that parking lot. There are some, and so we could split and have staff parking in different areas and kind of designate where we want staff to park. But we were also looking at alternative options just to give council a couple of different proposals to consider.
If we were to make this new parking lot, would we be able to use it for other things as well, like say Agates or other events and stuff like that for parking?
Absolutely.
You know, I have actually thought about, I think I even brought it up in meetings about putting a parking lot here. That lot has sat vacant forever. It's not on the tax roll. The only the two things that I thought about with that lot is a parking lot or to sell it to the people that live next door. Whether or not they would be interested in that, at least that way it would be on the voting roll. But I've just looked at it as, it's a nice piece of land, it hasn't been used for anything, and there are possibilities to use it for things. And a parking lot would be one of them. Does the city own, you know, where the old water tower was? That's more congested in there though. There's more power line poles and stuff in that area. Is that land available to be incorporated into something like this?
That is the lot we're talking about here. So if you
So
look, for
is-
some reason,
That has the area of the old water tower in it too?
Correct.
Okay.
So it'd be page 85. It'd be the second map that's,
Yeah,
4,400
I've got
square
it
feet.
up here.
That,
I
that's
just didn't
that
know.
lot.
I just didn't know if that was included in that.
And I apologize, they're black and white. Phyllis asked me to make them color too, and I didn't. But I will never do that again.
To me, it looks like the water tower lot isn't exactly included in that shaded in area.
That's all the same lot. That 306 address marker under your township and range,
Okay, yeah, I see the 306, that would be included in it.
that's all one lot. That's a 50 by 150 lot. The reason that highlighted area did not go all the way to the north is because there's the siren there. There's the control panel for the siren.
Yeah,
and there's a utility easement there.
Okay.
Chris?
I would be in favor of this. We have had, for years, talked about the shortage of parking for just employees, staff of all, you know, businesses. And we've always tried to figure out where we could put a parking spot. So I think, one, for, you know, staff of the city, but also to utilize for Days and 4th of July and different things. We always have a shortage of parking in the city downtown area.
Any other? Go ahead.
One thing for council to consider is this is not something that's in the 2026 budget. There are different ways that we could do it. We could essentially utilize, have a gravel lot until, you know, there are funds available to pave. Something like this could be a consideration for some of the money saved in 2025. But we can, essentially with council's consensus, we would move forward then with the planning to see if we could get an estimated cost of what this would be for the city.
And how the parking would look like. and
Correct.
The number of spots.
Correct.
It is kind of on a hill, a little bit.
It would rain well.
Do we have consensus?
Yes.
Yeah, look into that.
Okay.
Thank you. Subsurface treatment system request.
So, the city has received an inquiry regarding, whether or not, the city will engage in approval of mound systems within the city limits. And so the map that you have received is of the parcel in question by the property owner. We did have conversations with our city engineers at our most recent meeting on this, and a couple items have come forward. So one thing that we're engaging with our city engineers on is the updated wellhead protection plan. And with that, we have been informed of the, essentially what our duisma is and how water flows into our watershed. Aquifer, thank you.
Close.
And so, I'm doing good, all the things.
Great.
All
Actually,
things
totally
done.
backwards, but you did good, you did really well.
That was for the request for the color photos.
Well, and now I'm looking at this one, and this is no better. I must have did these just before I left for vacation, because they're terrible. I'll never do these again. I
Great job,
apologize.
Phil. So essentially, you know, there are some concerns about having mound systems in that particular location based on our aquifer. And so we are engaging in those conversations with our engineer, and we're actually gonna get MDH involved because they are the ones that are constructing our wellhead protection plan. But essentially, we wanted to just bring the conversation forward to council, take any questions, and then provide a little information. Ultimately, we have a little more homework to do before presenting a recommendation to council. But Phil, can you explain the image to council as far as what you depicted on here and why?
You mean this horrible one that they did?
Yes.
Okay,
Precisely.
perfect. And I apologize, there's not even street numbers, nothing on this. This is the short segment of street where the green line goes up the block halfway. That's 7th Street going up North Road. As you go up North Road, 7th Street's on the left-hand side. It's only about a half a block long. The two red highlighted areas are the property owners. That's the property owner who has requested this ability to put mound systems in there. I'm sure for resale value, obviously. Yeah, it looks like it would be to reach that farthest lot, that 50 by 100 lot would be over a 700-foot sewer main extension through that ledge rock we talked about earlier, Walt, which is probably why it's been sitting the way it has been till today.
That little green line there that goes down, I believe they had some difficulty in putting that in, did they not? The one that's coming up off of the North Road there?
If I was maybe not even born yet, so they might very well could have. I'm not sure.
But this is in the same area where we were just talking about the utilities easement?
One block that one.
Other side of the street.
Yeah, one block that one on the other side of the road.
8th Street.
Did I miss part of your question? I'm sorry. You're looking at me like I need to talk more.
Did you want him to talk some more?
No, I don't.
Is there a road that even goes to these?
No, but there is a dedicated right-of-way.
So, I mean, if he was looking at doing development there, I mean, you need a road.
Right.
What do you need from us?
Where are we at?
I guess is my question.
Today, this will be
Informational?
for your information only. We wanted council to know that the inquiry has come forward and we are working on it. We have been contacted multiple times by the property owner, so we want to make sure we're moving in a timeline that is acceptable. So the information is being brought forward to council, and then we'll have a little more due diligence to do on our end. We're working through that. We've engaged with the city engineers, and the discussion was that we also need to get MDH involved to get them to weigh in on whether or not this could have a negative impact on our aquifer.
Correct.
This large square here, that's basically a full block.
Yep.
So this is all owned by one person?
Correct.
Are there, I take it that there's still like 12 lots in that?
It doesn't look like they're platted that way, but I would assume they could be.
The potential for that.
I mean, say there was 12 lots that are, you know, and they want to develop that, that'd be 12 mound systems. Is that what you're talking?
When is the
Go
study
ahead.
going to be done then? So, is that kind of what we're waiting on, is to find out
The wellhead protection plan?
yes.
You want to go with this one, or you want me to?
So the wellhead protection plan is a 2-year process. So we're gonna hopefully utilize their expertise at NDH to weigh in now. We won't have, the full plan done for, another almost 2 years at this point. But they can definitely weigh in based on our previous protection plan. They do have our duisma and our aquifer and the way that water flows through our system already established. And so those aspects have not changed, so we're hoping that they'll be willing to at least render a recommendation to council from MDH's perspective on whether or not you would want mound systems in that particular area.
Typically, mound systems aren't allowed inside city limits unless sanitary sewer is absolutely not available, meaning based on gravity, right? That's what I've seen in the past. I know we have 2 in town. Both of those were, one was installed since I've been here, the other one was shortly before, I believe, and they're a couple thousand feet away from connecting, so gravity would never work. Failed mound systems is what got Windermere Sanitary Sewer District their sewer network, because too many failed mound systems causing lights and people live. Just throwing that out there.
So the recommendation then would be to wait until we get some guidance.
Correct.
So that's all, any other questions on that?
Has the property owners done their own research and stuff here to know what they're getting themselves into here?
As far as the ground,
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
because, I mean, over my lifetime, I've seen some of these lots trade hands several times, and the people think, well, I'm gonna go build a house up there, and they don't realize is what's in the ground, and then they sit on the land for a couple of years, and then they sell it to the next person, and the next person does the same thing.
Yep. There's multiple areas in town that happens. I've seen it a few times since I've been here.
Mhm. And on the North Road there, some places I've seen that go on. It's not quite on this map here, a little bit to the north.
Any other questions? Comments? Moving on to Carlton SWCD soil water storm sewer inventory.
Yes, so we have some exciting news. So we talked about the grant that the city had been awarded regarding a storm sewer inventory and analysis project. And so with that, we did have a $8,500 city match. And so I believe the total award amount is in the engineering meeting minutes as well. And so with that, we were looking at having to put in $8,500 of city funds in order to be able to complete our match. So our grant award was $76,500. Engaged with the Carlton SWCD on some funds that they have available for essentially work within their watershed for water quality projects and things of that nature. So we've been working with them for a couple months now. Our project was brought forward to their board in order to try and obtain funding for our $8,500 portion of our project. It was approved, and so normally there's a match component for their contribution. So if we were gonna to etch the city's contribution down to as minimal as possible, but they've also waived our match for their $8,500 contribution based on the work that's been done thus far. So really exciting news. We have our city match of $8,500 covered through the Carlton SWCD. In the packet, the council has the agreement that hoping to have approval of at today's council meeting. The agreement will then go in front of their board for final approval. And once SEH has completed the stormwater inventory analysis, they'll be issuing a report to the Carleton SWCD, and then that will trigger the reimbursement of the $8,500 from them to the city. So really exciting stuff. There's a lot of moving pieces. Everybody is doing their part to try and contribute, and that's exciting. I know that the Carleton SWCD has been very helpful, very engaged. Our city attorneys have done a lot of work as far as making sure that our project write-up incorporated all the components that we needed to highlight in order to be eligible for their funding. And so we worked through that, and we now have our project fully funded.
Questions? Comments? We need a motion to
Yes, please.
approve this contract or
Agreement.
grant?
Yes,
agreement?
please.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Supplemental letter agreement for the trail project.
Yeah, City Council received the supplemental letter agreement from SEH regarding the trail. Essentially, there is an overage that has occurred on the trail project based on project timelines. The project went over multiple years. There was extra monies needed for construction design and implementation. That is highlighted in the letter from SEH as well within council packet. So looking for approval of the SLA for the Trunk Highway 73 Trail Phase 2 project.
Yeah, how much was that figure?
So the amendment is for $42,975. Essentially, this is going to come out of engineering fees that we do have budgeted. The discussion was essentially, it was for complete design, permitting, and construction administration. So the project itself and a lot of the construction work that occurred when we had the, essentially the road bed, after the old road was torn up, we had additional construction cost issues when that project was extended for the fixes for that, and also the battery scenario where we had additional people and monies involved in process involved in vetting some of the trees that needed to be removed weren't housing the lawn ear bats as well. So our project ran over. We ran into two significant issues. A lot of these projects need oversight from a construction standpoint with our engineers. So we had extra boots on the ground, and it resulted in this overage.
Any other questions, comments, motions?
I'll make a motion, we sign the supplemental letter agreement for the payment of $42,975.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Public Works garage door quotes.
Oh yes, council received two estimates for garage doors at the Public Works garage. Both estimates are comparable. Phil, do you have any comments?
Gotta find it first, sorry. No, they both actually came in under budget what we were thinking. I've worked with both companies before, and I would recommend we go with the cheaper estimate.
Any questions?
Just one, it looked like the 19,800 did not address a lift master or anything like that.
Yeah, they are full, complete units.
Okay.
Yep, full opener, new rails, new doors, the whole 9 yards, both front and back.
Any other questions, comments, or motion?
Hey, Mike.
Make the motion to go with the cheaper one, which is DC Garage. 70,370.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. KJ Fresh Market Low Potency Hemp Edible Retailer License Application.
Yeah, so a couple of updates. This is our first time receiving these types of applications for the city. A couple of items or a couple of mentionables that we learned throughout this process is that we, as a municipal, don't actually have the authority to turn down this type of license. So from a city perspective, we go through our registration process and we're monitoring annual compliance. So to speak with their application, they do pay a fee to the city. We hold the administrative burden on those types of items. But the approval actually happened at the state level through the Office of Cannabis Management. This one in particular is for KJ's Fresh Market, and then we also have a secondary one to look at next as well.
Any questions, comments? Or a motion to approve?
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
Where are we at here?
We're doing the KJ's Fresh Market.
Okay. Did you get a second?
I'll second it. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Moose Lake Municipal Lower Potency Hemp Edible License.
So this license application is pertinent to the city's municipal liquor store. We also have an approval from the Office of Cannabis Management for this retailer license as well.
Any further questions? Comments? Is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Arrowhead Transit 2026 subscription transit agreement.
Yes, this agreement is very similar to years past. The $500 per month aligns with the amount paid in 2025, and so looking for council approval of the 2026 service agreement.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. City Moose Lake temporary on sale liquor license 117, the depot event.
Yes, so this is the license, temporary license pertinent to the email communication that went out to council. Thank you, everybody, for your engagement on that. Looking for formal approval. This is for the chamber dinner to occur on January 17th at the depot.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Carried. Temporarily on sale liquor license for the depot on January 31st.
This one has not been brought forward to council until now. This is for our own municipal liquor store to serve at an event at the depot on January 31st.
Any questions? Motions?
Make the motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Sturgeon Lake Lions application for off-site gambling.
Yes, this is for an ice fishing.
It's a Valentine's Day fishing contest the brewery will be at.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Carried. Or all in favor, sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Reports of correspondence, we have the Carrollton County Drug Prevention Coalition meeting minutes from January 5th, 2026. The Arrowhead Transit increased the subscription rates 26 and 27 plan notice. Arrowhead Library System 2026 annual budget, and the hopeful bingo flyer. Committee and board meeting minutes, we have Moose Lake Fire Protection District meeting minutes from December 9th, 2025, and the Parks and Recreation Board meeting minutes from January 6th, 2026. Announcements, Moose Lake City, regular city council meeting Wednesday, February 11th, 2026, 4 p.m. in the council chambers. Moose Lake Economic Development Authority, Wednesday, January 21st, in the city conference room at 12 noon. Moose Lake Water and Light, Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, 1 p.m. in the Water and Light office. Moose Lake Housing and Redevelopment Authority Board, Monday, February 9th, 2026, 11 a.m. Hillside Manor West. Moose Lake Fire Protection District, Tuesday, February 10th, 6:30 p.m. at the Emergency Response Center. And Moose Lake Park and Rec Board, Monday, February 2nd, 2026, 5 p.m. in the City Council Chamber. Is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.